The Oxford English Dictionary describes reverb as an effect whereby the sound produced by an amplifier or an amplified musical instrument is made to reverberate slightly.
But now, in 2012, and I'm sure Samuel Johnson wouldn't mind, we can add a new definition to the word.
Since here on Stratcast, via that magical series of tubes known as the internet, we are providing you with a gateway through which you, our beloved viewer, can witness the greatest unsigned musicians and producers that Shakespeare Fairtown has to offer.
Ladies and gentlemen of cyberspace, we present to you
Reverb 2012.
Here we are once again for week 2 of Reverb, the series. And if you thought things couldn't possibly get any better, well, who on earth do you think you are?
Well, I, for one, knowing who we had in store this week, knew that we were in for an absolute musical treat. Hailing from the wild streets of the West Midlands, this four-piece has been tearing up pubs and clubs across the land.
Summoning the spirit of Alice in Chains, Lane Staley with their whiskey-drenched vocals and blasting out a guitar sounds so rocky that it puts the Giant's Causeway to shame. This is Tech Horse with Hair of the Dog.
Down the frisk tonight. Down to the club, gonna get some homies and fried. Yeah, but the dog man's trying to resist. Since the name's not to live. Yeah, damn mama, give him my hair of the dog. I picked up a woman in a bad coat and a snowman. It's like so in something stolen. I bet she really is quite a track. But now she doesn't there. Give me one more, pass me the bottle. Give me all here and give me all.
I think that song well and truly lives up to its name, since if that won't get you up and about after a rather heavy on the shandy, I don't know what will.
I can't possibly comment. In the meantime, whilst we let the dust settle after that awesome rendition, we can take a trip into one of the minds behind the music with our very own Nick Good, who spoke to the lead singer of Tech Horse, Mr. Tom Fawcett.
I'm here with Tom Fawcett from Tech Horse. Cheers for having us.
Oh.
So, tech horse, sum it up, probably 3 words?
3 words.
Genre.
Grunge, rock, band.
Cool, I like it. Thank you. Right, so your album, you obviously have a full debut album, which is pretty awesome. You self-recorded and self-produced it. Was it a challenge?
Yeah. We did it before we was technically a band.
Nice.
Which is always a good idea. I had a bunch of songs and it's like, hey guys, you know, guitarist and drummer of Now Tech Horse. Should we do these? A few more. We used to jam a lot. I played bass in it at the time. Now we've got a new bass, Mr. James Bourne. If he's watching.
I like it.
And yeah, we just did them and we was using this old analog desk and stuff, and it was a little bit mental. And but we got there, and the songs changed a lot when you enter a band situation and stuff and so forth. But yeah, it's alright, it's not bad. But it has changed a lot now.
Do you think it's easier for a band to record material and then gig like you've done? Or do you think it's better to gig first, then record?
I think now in hindsight, I think it's better to gig first and then record, because you never know what's going to happen, like change-wise. If you like recording and it's not costing you any money and stuff, it's like, you know, you're doing it yourself somewhere, it's fine. But if you're paying for the time in the studio, it's tricky.
Yeah.
Because I remember like when we did like one of our first songs way back, we pretty much got a bit of it. We worked from a demo. It's like, yeah, we'll just go in the studio, it'll be fine. And we spent absolute ages on that song, and loads of things came and went, and it was mental. But yeah, I think definitely gig first. You come much tighter as a band, you know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
You kind of work off each other as well.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've always been told as well now.
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys are entering the studio towards the end of April. Who are you recording with, and which songs are you recording?
Recording with Mr. Tom Gittins of Monochrome Studios. We're doing Hair of the Dog, which is like kind of live favourite. We normally like kick off a gig with that. Drinking songs, good fun, you know. Yeah, it should be a laugh. Nice big guitars, kind of southern rock, bit sleazy.
It's quite
good
cool.
times.
Are you changing anything in the song? Or?
Yeah, we're going to try and change it a bit, because at the end originally, I remember I wrote the end bit and it goes all kind of Led Zeppelin psychedelic and a bit mental.
Nice.
And it doesn't, it works, but like from a commercial standpoint, I suppose, like radio play, which you've got to think about a bit, it's a bit of a curveball. So yeah, we're going to try and like drop in another verse and put another chorus in there. But it's going to be similar, but hopefully a little more cohesive, I suppose.
That's good. That's good. That's really good. Sweet. I think that's everything that we're going to need for today. But yeah. Cheers, Tom.
A fine and insightful interview there, Nick. Good work.
Well, after I apologise for that abysmal pun, I'd like to segue seamlessly into our next item by asking you, Naomi, if, over the course of your varied and thrilling life, there has been a classic album that has always sits at the top of your collection, or at least has the most plays on your iPod.
I think, without a doubt, it's got to be Good Charlotte's The Young and the Hopeless. It's my first favourite rock album. Always listen to it. Can't get enough of it, really. What about you, Wayne?
Well, why waste time on me when we have 3 music lovers here who can regale us with tales of their most cherished albums in this week's discussion.
Hello and welcome to the music discussion. I'm Philip Richter, and today we have Nick Good and Joe Murphy on the show. So Joe, what are your favourite albums?
That's a really hard question. I'd probably say a bit of a guilty pleasure for me. One of my favourite albums would be the Earth, Wind and Fire Greatest Hits album.
Good album.
Yeah, that's an album you can't be miserable to. You put that on in the morning, you're not waking up miserable. You're going to be in a good mood for the rest of the day. It's just cheesy, happy music.
It is a good album. It's worrying that...
It is worrying.
Yeah, that is really good though. I'll say that one of my favourite ones is Blink-182's Take Off Your Pants and Jacket. It's fair. Really good album, but it's... When it came out, the point where I was in my life was just... I was really into like skateboarding and like fast music, and that entire album is just that, but there's like serious songs on it as well. Like Stay Together for the Kids was written when his parents were going through a divorce, and it's just like, it worked for me because it was going through happy emotions and like serious emotions, and when it came out, that's pretty much what I was doing. So it's good. Good album.
From an album from me was from the 90s called Evil Empire by Rage Against the Machine.
There was definitely like, especially for like rock and grunge and like stuff like that, there was definitely like a bigger influence of it in the early 90s, going throughout the 90s. Like Nirvana's Nevermind, when I got given that album, I was pretty young at the time, probably shouldn't have listened to some of the content on it, but I mean, it was...
Explicit lyrics.
Yeah, but it was like a really good album though, because it was like, it was what everybody who was growing up was kind of going through or thinking, and it just really suited it. But like still to this day, I know like younger kids that I know, like their brothers and friends and stuff, they listen to that album and it still does what it did for like our generation, which I think is really cool for an album still to be like that.
Left its legacy sort
Yeah,
of thing. Yeah,
incredible. Really good album.
It is a classic album. To be fair, all of Nirvana's albums are good.
Yeah, Nirvana, I think Nirvana as a whole is incredible. But like Foo Fighters as well, I think their Colour and the Shape album, incredible album. Like, it's still remembered now for being like one of their best.
And that is the music discussion. I'm your host, Philip Richter. Peace.
Well, that was very interesting. But Wayne, I'm still curious to know what your favourite album is.
You know, I really can't say. What can I say? However, I know what it definitely isn't, and it's not Up All Night by One Direction. Okay?
Oh, of course it isn't Wayne. Anyway, before we hear any more desperately false denials from Wayne here, it would seem that Reverb has come to an end for another week.
And to play us out, we can lend our ears and eyes once again to the awesome Tech Horse, performing a song that could well have been written about me, entitled Modern Man.
See you in 7 days.
Bye.
Bye.
Now I'm just a number, part of a crowd. A shiny suit and expensive laptop. I work in the city, 9 to 5, and go to Starbucks every day. What I do ain't important. What I say ain't interesting. Who I am, it ain't important at all. No, not at all. Superficial, artificial, modern man. You got nothing, got no one who was you there. Your brand new car, a blasted girl. It don't mean nothing if you got no one. And I'm just a fool, part of a scene. Designer clothes and overpriced gym. I'm always in a rush, never on time. Watch The Apprentice on TV. What I do ain't important. What I say ain't interesting. Who I am, it don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. Superficial, artificial, modern man. Got no one, who are you now? Brand new car, blasted girl. It don't mean nothing, got no one. Superficial, artificial, modern man. Got no one, who are you now? Brand new car, blasted girl. It don't mean nothing if you got no one. I know my man, baby. Hey, not I don't know about you other guys, but I ain't one of them. You see, I knew old man, and his name was Bob. Can I have $1? Can I have a little more? No chance, Bob, you're not my type of guy. Said I don't go till the morning, here we go again. Same old, just a different day. Wonder where I'm going, what I'm doing, who I am. What you want, I'm a modern man. Superficial, superficial, superficial.